All right. Hello, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. All right. So you guys saw the notes I pasted on the forum.
Yes, sir.
I posted rather.
Yes, sir.
All right. So you got the project end of session project.
Yes, sir.
All right. So we'll just talk about you just ask questions that will enable you to get answers that will enable you complete that project by yourself.
Good afternoon, sir.
Afternoon. So that's the end of the course, end of this subject project. Project will show that ended this subject. But we still have one more course, but we've done like 95% of everything we should do. All right. Did I include a note on IIS there?
No, sir, you did not.
Okay. So
That's the only one that is not there. Yeah.
All right. So that'll be for another time, maybe today.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
All right.
I actually posted the little problem I had yesterday, or I won't call it a problem. I don't know if it's a problem, but when I was I posted certain things.
Yeah, the same
I said
issue you
on
said you had.
all servers did not show anything. I refreshed and refreshed. It didn't show anything.
Can you share your screen with me? Let me see.
Let me see. My problem is I'm not, but I can share the images. I took pictures of it, but I can't share because I'm not doing Zoom from my laptop. I'm using my mobile phone.
Okay.
But except I try to get into class again from my laptop, sir.
Yeah, when you do, then let's.
Okay.
Images is not enough.
Okay, sir. I will now. I will.
All right.
Let me just type in the code.
All right. Issues, problems, contributions, observations, testimonies, challenges. Bring them forth. Oof. Bring them forth.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah. Based on the project you gave us today, so I was trying to start all over. So try joining a domain. A client to the domain, and suddenly I saw a strange message while I created users. It said the security database on the server does not have a computer for this workstation trust relationship. So I had to Google. Suddenly I saw a solution that said I should rename both client and server. And later it accepted my user credentials. So I want to now ask that, sir, does it mean that there are some things is firework? Because one said it was fireworks. So I did so many things, fireworks was not working until I now saw the one that said I should rename. So what could have caused it, sir? Hello, sir.
Yeah. I'm thinking. Where is my share? What shared? That. Okay. So. Bede, the guy who shared that question.
Sir.
All right. You may mute yourself because
okay,
there's
sir.
noise in your background.
Yes, sir.
That word is not fireworks, it's firewall. Firewall is the word. Now, what could have caused it? So the way to go around that is when you have a problem, you did well, that's what you ought to do. When you have problem, go to Google, ask questions, go and find out. Don't bring every problem to me, I've told you. Don't bring every problem. The only reason I'm very reluctant to take your problems, answer your, like the kind of problem Tim was showing me now. I'm reluctant, but it does that. It may appear like I'm a wicked teacher if I don't. You should go online and find out and get it by yourself, like exactly like Bede just did. That's how to do it. That's how to do it.
I'll do that. I'll do that.
That's the way to learn. Otherwise, I'll just pamper you and provide a solution. You go out there, you'll not be able to perform as the engineer that we're training you to be.
No, I was just bothered. The thing is, everything works as it's supposed to work, but I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't that there was a problem. I wasn't sure.
You know, when you do like master's level, yes, like MBA degree, what they are training you at that level, you are not learning to. You are not actually being taught at that high level. You know what they are teaching you at that level.
I'm listening, sir.
Not just you. I'm talking to classes. Are people listening to me?
Okay, sir.
Yes,
34
sir.
people, are you there? 34 participants.
Yes, sir.
So you get to a level in education where you are no longer taught 1 + 1, although it's still early, but generally that's where I want to take you. You are no longer taught this. You now learn to go and read by yourself. It's called research. So they give you a topic in your PhD, nobody teaches you anything. So take this as your master's program where whatever I don't teach you, go and find out. And by the time you now come back and say, I cannot find it and we'll catch it together, we will not commend you and say, wow, you actually tried because this information is not actually online. So you are vindicated for bringing it back to class. So I'm teaching you to do it by yourself. I will take your questions, but it's not really helping you. It's just me showing off. My showing off does not help.
I understand, sir. I understand, sir. Thank you, sir.
Go do it. Learn, you fall.
Okay,
learn, you
I'll
fall.
let you know. I'll let you know how I
do it. Come and tell me that eventually I got it. I'm happier with that than baby.
Holding my hand.
Yeah, I'm holding your hand already.
I know. I'm saying like, yeah. I understand. It's better than holding the hand and saying, okay, this is A and this is B. Okay, sir.
So when I hold your hand, I want to leave you, and then you walk. Anytime you fall down, don't cry and look back and say, teacher, I fell down. No, stand up and keep walking by yourself.
I understand, sir.
That's what you're for.
Yeah, true, sir. True, sir.
All right, so back to Bede. Is that the pronunciation of your name?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Bede. Yes, sir.
Bede, okay.
Yes, sir.
So don't come back to me and ask why. What you do is you meditate on it and rearrange your mind to think along the line of that answer. Find an explanation that suits you and register it in your mind.
Okay, sir.
That's the way. All right.
Yes, sir. Then secondly, sir, you made mention of PowerShell that instead of what do we call it, DevOps at this Windows level, we should make use of PowerShell. And where I work, we make use of it in terms of pushing to Jump Office. So I want to ask that, can we also try some of these commands that we had used so far in PowerShell, or you are still going to take that with us?
I will not cover that with you. Remember, I'm not teaching you everything IT. I'm teaching you the part of IT that I need you to know for what I'm
teaching. That will lead
you.
us to cloud.
Yes. Okay, sir. So PowerShell is not part of what I'm teaching you.
Okay, sir.
It's not in the syllabus of what I'm teaching.
Yes, sir.
So what is in the syllabus? If you must work from CLI, from command line interface, Linux will take care of everything that I want to show you under command line interface. So Linux is the more universal CLI platform than PowerShell, which is just relevant for Windows. In fact, by the time we are done with training, you don't even remember that you did Windows. Let me be honest with you. You don't remember that you ever did Windows. However, when you do need to support somebody who uses Windows, then everything here will become handy. You get it?
Yes, sir.
So, but there, it's like you are coming to the US and then you get to Lagos International Airport and you are saying, wow, look at this light, look at that. And then you have not even left, you have not even arrived at New York. You're already saying, wow, wow, wow. By the time you get to Washington, D.C., your wow will turn from wow. So all this one you are seeing now, they are just...
It's the reality, sir.
So, yeah. Apprentices that are not asking questions. They are just sitting down waiting for the master to come and remove engine and take screwdriver and so on. You must have practiced and you must have made observations. Let us also learn from you. It's when you contribute like this. That's when everything that I know I didn't have to learn, read or research by myself. I also learned some of them from my trainings. So what am I learning from you?
Hello, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Okay, well, if Oma wants to talk,
Yes, sir. When I was practicing there, I noticed that when I use the whack command line, it will also take me to my web page.
What web page?
The one I created yesterday. Like I was practicing how to create the website.
So where did you enter your whack? Is it on the browser or
my client? On my client.
Where on your client? Your client's browser or your client's search bar?
Search bar, not the browser.
And then it takes you, when you do that, it opens your web page.
Yes.
Okay, let's try it. Let's see if that's generally true or something you didn't configure. Let's try that. Let me quickly load my
sir.
machine. Let me share my screen. Screen share. All right, so you can see my screen. So where did we come from? Where's our web server?
On our primary DC.
All right. You see how to answer a question? On our primary DC, script, no story. That's how to answer questions straight away. You are communicating. You ask somebody that kind of question, they'll be telling you stories about. Just say primary DC, and I'm saying it right there. All right. So what else? So where's our client? Which one client did we use yesterday? Okay, I had another class yesterday, so it must be this our client, I guess.
Our client.
Okay. So let's start down. Never monitoring this class. From Linux, I'll monitor this class more. You'd have to have a sign in manually to come in. I don't even know who is coming in and who is going out. Looks like people did not realize that your month has ended. Hello, my trainees.
We do so.
You forgot that you have an obligation.
Yes, I wanted to speak on that perspective.
There's no need to speak. Just pay. Nothing to speak
about. Checking out from the TTC mobile checkout page.
Use another method if you have a problem with another.
It's not allowing me to use the previous email address.
Use another method to pay.
That's the only method my bank supports, sir. And it's not, I will use another email address, but I will continue with the previous email address, sir. Maybe I will do it that way, sir.
Just get the money in. Get the money in. Get the money in anyhow.
Okay, sir.
pass through the firewall, just drop the money. And then,
The money will come in, sir.
Oh, yeah. People are just doing like you don't know issue. This America, we don't draw there too. Things just happen by themselves.
Of course.
You don't. Even my American people, they're even pretending they don't know that month has ended. All right. So, Billy, I'm still with you. My domain controller is coming up, so I'm waiting.
Okay, sir.
So, any other question in the time being?
Okay, sir. It's not a question actually, it's just something I observed sometime.
Okay.
I observed my roommate in school, back in school, actually works on a local network. Like it would be as if he's browsing on his laptop, but then there's no internet connected.
Mm-hmm.
So most times when I ask him, "What's up? How are you accessing a web page?" He'll be like, "I'm using a local network and stuff like that." So when we did this network intranet thing yesterday, so I observed that could it be that that's what he's doing? That's how he's able to access. Maybe there's something, maybe there's a network within his group where they share files, and that is what he's accessing. Or there's another way to access maybe a web server outside internet.
Okay. Yeah, good question, good observation. Oh yeah, contributions.
Hello.
Yeah, the floor is open.
Good evening. Yeah. Good evening, sir.
Yeah.
To answer the question you just said, I'm actually a software developer. There are servers, there are local servers that you can use. For example, there's a server called XAMPP. It's if you turn it on, whenever you are working on a page or trying to write code, you can compile and run it locally without having to host it. So yes, your friend is actually using a local host to run his to test his web page. Yeah, that's basically what he's doing.
Okay, since you call the example you gave now is server, right? So that means you have to do, because what we're actually doing here too is like we're creating a web server to run a local host.
Yes. That's actually a local server. That one you can download it online. It's something we use for testing. Before launching to the live server where everybody can access.
Okay, get that now.
No, but what he's saying, we learned something from there though. But what he's saying is this guy is not even connected to the internet. He's browsing locally without connection to the outside world.
Yes, you don't need internet for that. It's just a local tester. It's just you don't need
what
internet.
Are you testing?
A website. Actually, you're compiling, you're running your server codes, your codes online and on an Apache. There's a server called Apache. Not for .NET developers. They use IIS, which we did yesterday, to host their own server script. But for other developers that run PHP, they use a different server like Apache. That one is called Apache server to test without internet. You don't need internet at all for that. You just need to start it and you can just connect to the port, local host. Maybe you can set it to 8080 or 8081, depending on the port which you have available.
Where's my video? I don't even know who is talking.
My name is Ikechuku, sir.
Ikechuku, where are you? Where's my video? Okay, my video is not on. Okay. This is our primary domain controller. Okay, next time. Okay, we're already coming to the end of Windows. I would have said next time I will make sure this is up before I come to class. All right, but let us discuss. All right, any other contribution? We've heard Ikechuku. What do you think? You see, if we didn't give Ikechuku chance, if we didn't give you chance, we wouldn't learn that. What else do you think?
It's my pleasure, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome. 36 people, are you all just doing like this? Or you are at work and they don't let you talk when you're at work or something? Okunokwa. Lucia. Henry Bullos.
Hello, sir. Sir, I'm here, sir.
Don't hello, sir. Contribute to what you...
Sir, I didn't get that, sir.
Contribute to what we are discussing.
I've not really finished watching the video for yesterday. But so far,
okay,
yes,
I thought you were giving an excuse. Okay.
Everything I've learned, and I've been going through all of them.
Somebody asked a question. Did you get the question? Somebody is making a contribution. So somebody has an observation that we are making contributions to.
Okay, I didn't get that.
About Jerry.
No idea, sir.
Oh, what do you mean, no idea? Have you been following class?
Sure, definitely. Though I'm not following bumper to bumper, but I'll be following.
So how close are you?
Like yesterday class. Now I've not watched it. I'm still at last weekend's class.
Okay, but the one you've watched so far, do you understand them?
Definitely, sir. Definitely.
We don't really have to.
It's been sinking.
Okay.
It's been sinking gradually.
Let's not. I'm not in a hurry to teach anything. We'll cover our curriculum most conveniently. Don't worry about it. But the ones we've learned so far, let us.
It's because of my schedule. Because of my schedule, so I'm not able to be head on with you.
No wahala. Harris Aburime.
Sir, good evening, sir.
What do you have to say about this matter on ground?
I'm just entering the class now.
Hey, Oluyinka, you were brilliant yesterday. Are you still wearing that your cap? Oluyinka. Emmanuel Rogers, what are we learning from you today?
Yes, sir. Well, I don't really have a contribution on that observation the guy had, because I wasn't really following the class. But actually, I've been watching the videos, and I got stuck somewhere, which I've been trying to troubleshoot. But
where did you get stuck?
It was on my replica, and on the DNS replica. So there was, on some point, the DNS, my domain controller got lost. So I've been trying to troubleshoot to see where the domain controller is. I couldn't see it anymore.
You couldn't see it from where?
When I was trying to configure the DNS, on some point it disappeared. I don't know where it is. So I tried
to configure the DNS on your domain controller or on your replica server?
On my replica server.
Okay. So
at some point it got lost. I tried to troubleshoot. I couldn't see it anymore. So the more I'm doing it, the more I was complicating it. So I just have to delete the replica and start all over again. So.
Okay, but that's not the best solution. It would have been helpful, and it would have been worth learning, looking for that lost domain controller. But as of this morning, you have the notes now, so the notes should help.
Yeah, I saw the notes this morning when I checked the WhatsApp. I'm like, okay, this would be very helpful.
All right.
Sir. Before I saw it, I've already deleted the replica.
Okay, no problem. It's all part of life.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, you Wale.
So when I tried, like I said, by DHCP, when I took it out on static, and I was using DHCP, I was getting different IP addresses range. So
Okay.
I'm confused. So that's where I'm
Let
stuck.
us do that today. Let's revise that and see. I'm sure we'll not have that problem. We will not have it, but let's see. Let's see.
Thank you very much, sir.
We'll look at that.
Thank you.
Please note that in case I forget. Remind me.
Okay, I will. All
right. So since there are no more contributions relating to who asked that question, I didn't have my video on at that time. The question in Kechuku answered. Oh, that was Bankole. Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Sorry. In addition to what he mentioned about using a local server, there's a course I'm also doing that is game development. So when we finish creating a game, we have to run them on the internet on a web server. So we usually create a file, it's called WebGL. We create a WebGL file and then we run it on a browser. But the thing is, for example, my computer comes with a lot of firewalls, so it does not render the file. It does not render the file. So I searched for information on the internet. I was advised to download a local server. So with that local server, I was now able to bypass all the protocols and then have access to the file, and it was able to run through the local server. So in addition to what he said about using a local server and not connecting directly to the internet, I think I agree with what he said as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Any other contribution? Any other contribution? All right. So Bankole, this is my own contribution. Yes, what your friend did is similar to, is a replica, I don't want to say exactly, it's what we did, it's what we are doing now, what we did yesterday. All right. So this idea of server, you put a server, you test, and then as explained by Kechuku, and the Timis version is the same thing that we did yesterday. They are just calling them different names. So your question was it what you did yesterday that your friend had been doing that you didn't know? Answer is yes. And your confusion was, was there something else that I have not taught you that is probably using? Not likely. It is likely that what he did was what we practiced yesterday. Whether you call that server, Apache server, or you call it web LJ, you call it, or whatever name, is the same scenario that we had yesterday. What was the scenario we had yesterday? The scenario we had was we had two systems. Or maybe you are not appreciating that we had two systems because they are buffer mechanisms. Yes, we did have two systems. Configured one as our web server, and then one was our client. And then we developed a web page, even though it was just a simple text. Technically, that was a web page. And then we hosted that web page on our, somebody's trying to call me, on our web server. And then we're able to browse that web page from another system, from our client. Thank God that guy reminded us to try our client. Okay, so it's exactly what your friend did. You get it, Bankole? Bankole is not there.
Absolutely. Absolutely, sir. I get it.
So whether we now call our web server.
They are not showing Dragon Ball Super.
So whether we now call our web server one name or we call it another name, it does not matter. Fundamentally, that's what happened. All right. So the scenario Ikechukwu painted of a special web server, all of that you are going to do under DevOps. All right. You are going to do under DevOps. In fact, you'll not be doing it on your local, you'll not be practicing DevOps on your local server like we're doing it. You'll be practicing DevOps in cloud, and those applications that you built by yourself on your local server will be built by someone else in the kind of server that Ikechukwu called the name, but we are going to call our own a repository, and the name of that repository is GitHub. Now, when you have people contributing from India, from Nigeria, coders from America, coders, all of them would be doing their versioning on GitHub, and then you, as the cloud architect that you eventually become, would pull all the code from there and compile them, but it's no longer called compile, it's called build, using the relevant tool. The tool for building in Java, for building Java codes is Maven, all right? For .NET codes and other, they'll have their, but Maven is very popular. And then you build that, and then you push it to, from your work environment, from your work server, you push it to the application server, all right? And then you do all your testing, or your Selenium, or your penetration. And once everything is good on your application server, you now push it to production environment, all right? So ultimately, you'll be able to relate how, it's called pipeline, how these things work, and the appropriate tool to use at the appropriate stage in order to achieve it. That's what makes you a DevOps engineer, all right? So that's where we are going. But I just wanted to tell you that if what Ikechukwu explained was strange to you, you will get there, all right? That's what we're training you to be. You are going to be working with developers, like the supervisor, like the manager, like the person, like the coordinator, to implement the pieces of work that they do. The example I gave in the last class was somebody's acting a movie, and then he asks act 1, scene 1, act 1, scene 2, act 1, scene 3. Once he completes his own scene, he goes. And then it's up to the director and producer and the crew members to put all of the scenes together and form one long movie. So the coders, called the coder developers, the other developers, they act the scenes, okay? They build this, build that. Then the person who coordinates or the department who coordinates all of that to form a working solution, a comprehensive software instead of just pieces of code, the solutions architect. That's what you are. That's why, yeah, at one point I asked my class, who is better paid, the developer or the solutions architect? Ordinarily, what will come to mind is different. Okay, and then I said, okay, go and find out. And then they came back and said, wow, I'm surprised what I'm getting. All right, they found out by themselves that the solutions architect is paid higher than the developer. And then by the time we explain it this way, it now makes sense. Oh, he is the coordinator who puts all these things, you know, like a factory, a production line. So he puts this there, put this there, everything rolls, and then eventually you come up with the product that you are developing. All right. So that's where we are going ultimately. And then if you know this picture and you put this picture in front of you and you have that vision, it will really help you to, in a way, it will help you to align to the goal. But yes, that was what happened. Nothing else as far as it's within Windows. There was one system that he configured as a server by loading IIS or its equivalent. Because by the time we go to Linux now, we'll no longer use IIS. We'll now be using another kind of, where is this noise coming from? Mute yourselves. We'll be using another kind of application to develop, to create our web server. The application we'll be using there is called Apache. That's the one Ikechukwu mentioned. But right here in Windows, we're using IIS. So it makes it versatile. At interview, what do you use to configure and implement web server? See, I can use IIS. I can use Apache. Apache, you use port 80. You see, I'm just talking. I'm sure many of you are not following. So that's it. That's that. Then the other question was, what was the other question?
Sir.
Following.
what port can we use for Apache?
Apache is 88. Apache, no, there are two, hold on. There are two Apache. We have Apache Tomcat. Then we have Apache HTTD. Apache HTTD is port 80. Apache Tomcat is port 8080.
So the Apache is more like a protocol that needs need a port to go through.
Correct.
Okay.
The Apache is actually a service that needs the port to go through. So if
you
do not specify,
the Apache is a service. Okay.
And then you'll be loading them by yourself. All these ones is like grammar now to a billy, but you will do all of that. All of this is.
All right.
And then what's the other question? Yeah, there's something I'm seeing right in front of me. Are you seeing my screen?
Yes, sir.
Just update.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you are seeing the update. Awesome. Let me move this to one side. So anybody waiting to come in? No. So I'm trying as much as possible to. Okay, I've removed that. So what's the problem here? Who can tell me what's going on here? What do we do from this point? I mean, what's it saying? What's required of us? Excuse me.
The only thing I'm seeing right now is just update.
That's
all.
So what do we do now?
You need
what we do, we click on it.
You need access to the internet, though.
Oh, so when we click, it should connect to the internet and update, right? All right. So we say install. All right, that's exactly what we're doing. So
it basically just notified us that there are updates to the version of the server we have. So we just
right now we're updating. It's not going.
Yes.
We're not connecting. Oh, is it connecting? Maybe it's connecting.
Yes, it's updating.
I'm sure it will not update. I'm sure it will not connect beyond here. Okay, maybe it will. But let us assume it's not connecting now. Oh yeah, troubleshoot.
You need to go to a network settings.
Hold on, John, hold on.
Oh, okay, sorry.
It's working. But let us assume that it's not working. John already knows the answer because of the way he started. Okay.
All right. If it is not working,
no, Chen, hold on.
Okay.
So we have removed you from the competition. Who else? So this is not working. We are here and it's not working. What do we do? How do we troubleshoot?
Okay. Can I make?
Is that
can I say something?
Who is talking?
Yeah. Can I say something? This is Daniel.
Daniel.
Yes, please.
Yes, Daniel. Would really love to hear the solution from you.
Okay. This one is on the domain controller, and we already configured. We have to configure the second adapter that will have to connect directly to the internet. So, but the first adapter is just for the enterprise network. So the second one, which is the NAT, that's going to connect to.
You have just spoken. All the other things you were saying, they were just English. You have just mentioned something that makes sense to me.
Okay, sir.
This is the domain controller. So what has that got to do with your answer? Why did you say that?
It's domain controller because
wait.
Okay,
what I'm saying is,
yes, sir.
You were speaking English. I'm not interested in English. But in all of that English, I found the keyword I'm looking for that tells me that you know what you are talking about. You know what that keyword is?
Yes, sir.
What's the keyword? What is the thing you mentioned that are now NAT? Why are you speaking so much words? We are NAT. Then give me just 3 words to complete what I should do now. Look at the word we just started. Hold on.
Translator here.
I'm not talking to Hunokwa. Daniel, I prefer to call you by your surname. I'm talking to everybody to
yes, sir, no problem.
Mold your mind.
I'm good.
To mold your mind as to how you should look at questions and how to address questions. That's why we are spending time here. Okay? Do you understand? So when you are asked questions, look at the way John started. John said, go to so place. I already knew he knew what he was doing. So your approach was not the same. So just tell me, go here. And when you're saying go here, just mention technical terms. Go to settings. Settings is a technical term. In fact, if he stopped there, maybe NEPA take light or something, and he stopped there, the fact that I had go to settings, when I get there, I'll find out. So go to settings, go to NAT. What do I do from there? Somebody else take over from there.
Hello, sir.
Yes, Taiwo.
Go to network.
Yeah, you go to the settings and we go to the network. Then we go to the second adapter, which is what we use to connect our internet, which is NAT.
Okay. Yeah, not bad, but let's see who can put all of that together.
You put the machine in inactive mode first.
Okay. Okay, so that's an addition. That's something new.
So
everything you have said is correct. So basically, you know now the solution to this problem. Good. It's still on 3%, which means something is wrong. So what is the problem that we have just found a solution to? Who else is there? Peter, what's the problem that we just found a solution to? They just told us the solution. They are good. These are the people I've trained, so I'm proud of them. So what is the problem that they solved by giving me that solution? Peter, what's the problem here?
Yeah, we will be able to we'll be able to see or be able to browse now after we do everything.
So what's the problem right now? I'm not saying what would we be able to do when we do everything. What's the problem now?
And the problem now that we cannot update because we can.
All right, don't worry. Olushoga.
An adapter is disconnected.
Yes, sir.
What's the problem now?
The problem now is that our virtual machine cannot connect to the internet.
Correct. That's just it. I'm more comfortable with that explanation. That's the problem now. So the problem now is the machine cannot connect to the internet. That's it. All right, so we know the solution. All right, so I don't need to go there to do it now, since you already know the solution. Going there to do it is simple. Everybody can do that. Who cannot go and implement the solutions as provided by my very good trainees? Who does not know how to go and do that? Okay, everybody knows how to implement that solution. So as a support person, which is likely to be the first or the kind of job you would get with this knowledge, these are the things they will call you to tell you. I'm trying to connect to the internet. It says upload. It's been there for 15 minutes. What's the problem? So that's the solution. So you tell them at level 1 support, you provide the solution like you just did now over the phone. And then once they are not able to do it by themselves, because these people are not technical people, the users, and then you escalate, and then a level 2 person will now go there and physically, maybe not physically, anyhow, do it. Instead of just supporting on phone, will actually do it. But most times, at that level, they are called desktop support. You have to go to the desk as against just support, which is like phone. All right, so you see the job role. So the entry level will be support, which is through remote support. We don't add the remote support. It simply means by your understanding of all of this, you're able to tell what the problem is, and you're able to solve it by remotely. Then desktop support, level 2, it means that you physically go there and do it. Level 3 means you are all knowing. You have risen from level 1 to level 2 to level 3. You are now a proper engineer. You are no longer the technician that you were at level 1. You are no longer the intermediate person you were at level 2. You now have a good understanding of how things work, and no problem. You have nobody to escalate to, so to speak, although there's always support. You'd have to go and look for the problem, look for the solution yourself. You Google, you go to forum, you interact with people, just solve that problem. That's level 3. I'm training you for level 3 jobs, not for level 1, not for level 2. Where you say, I cannot do it, therefore you hand over to somebody new. There are many level 1 jobs where you cannot do it. There's always a higher person you hand over. Level 3, especially here in the US, you have to do the job. You are paid to do it. Why do you think they are paying you all this money? So that you cannot do it and you hand over to some. You must do it. You must do it. So what would you like to be? Level 1, simple job and small money. Level 2? Or level 3?
Level 3.
You want to be in level 3? Then you have to understand every explanation to what is happening. It is the explanation, it is the understanding of the first principle, of the concept of why things happen that makes you a level 3 person, not the doing of it. Not the doing of it. If you do it without understanding it, then you are a level 1 person because you have to take the instructions, the design from a level 3 person. But understanding it enough to design it, to know that, oh, this will flow from here. This one is not getting it. What's the problem? It must be that this one is not supplying it. Okay, let's check. What is supply? If this one is supply, it should flow. Then why this one go? Let's check the link on it. So all of that reasoning is what makes you a level 3 person. When you come to me and say, this one is not receiving, why? How would I know? So troubleshooting means think along the path of your understanding to see where something can be wrong or where something could be wrong. You are sitting and you are saying, why is that? And then, like it happens to many IT people, and then just wake up and say, oh, I think I got it. Oh, wow. So like you finding this stuff, we also find things tough 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. I was trying to build the DevOps pipeline, and for 4 hours, I was struggling. And then I had to go back to my own video because I've done this in class before to say, oh, and then of course, after you know it, it becomes, how could I have forgotten this? And then you just do it and everything is fine. So it's part of IT. We do it all the time. We struggle like that all the time. So when I spend time explaining things, don't see it like, that is the training you paid for, that explanation. It's not the doing. Because right now, the doing of this one is something you can do by yourself. Well, not the doing in isolation. Yes, of course, ultimately we'll do it. But understanding the doing and doing the doing because of your understanding of it. That's the way. So do you get why we take time to make sure that these things sync?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. So now back to a doing now, so that it doesn't look like we're talking. So what was that problem? You said your domain controller did not do what?
It's not able to connect.
No.
Yes, sir. My domain controller was, hello, sir.
Yeah.
When I set it to DHCP, I was getting different IP addresses.
All right, so let's do
the range.
So let us set DHCP. So we'll go to DHCP, we'll go to tools, we'll go to DHCP. Where is it? Okay, so it's here. And then we'll go to IP version 4 for which domain? IP version 4 for that network. Yeah, for this one. Draw your IP addresses from this pool. So what did you define here? You defined, what's the problem? If you did everything correct here, then everything should be good.
I defined the range exclusive. That's all it does. It two. Then I gave the IP address to the router.
Okay, so where do we go from here now in order to identify the problem you had? So you defined your scope, right?
Yes, I divided my scope.
Okay, let's look at this scope.
I did new scope. I think under IP version 4, you click on IP version 4 itself.
Okay.
Then click on it. Then right click, give you a new scope. Yes, sir.
But we already have a scope. Do you want us to delete this scope and start all over?
No, sir. If you can resolve it for me, it will be fine, sir. So that's exactly
okay,
what
you think going through new scope will help you? Okay, let's go. So what do we do?
No. I said if you can resolve it.
Yeah, but I'm still trying to get the problem. So you defined your scope here.
Yes.
And then
when I checked IP listen, there was no IP at all for me.
Where's IP?
Because underneath IP pool.
All right. So
that's exactly gave me. There was no IP.
Yes, but It's not giving anything, yet our DHCP is working fine. It's not giving us anything.
What I saw on YouTube was when your DHCP is working, it will give your client an IP, and underneath IP listen, that's where you'll be able to see the IP that was given to your client.
Okay.
Because
so your problem is not that your DHCP is not working.
No, it's working, but giving me different IP range.
What?
Like I had a range of 192.
Hold on. How do you know is it giving you different IP range? Where did you see that it's giving you different IP range?
I did IP config. When I did IP config,
where did you do IP config?
addresses.
From the client or from the domain controller?
From the domain controller itself, it gave me a different IP range.
Okay, so let's do IP config now. Where's our? Let me move this here. All right, so our search IP config. To do that, let's go to command prompt. Still on the domain controller, IP config. All right, so what range did it give you?
It was giving me 192.254.10 and something. But what I did was I removed my domain service, domain controller, to be DHCP, not static. So I don't know if I still have to put my DHCP, my domain controller static, if I have to deploy DHCP or use it as DHCP, not static.
I will not give you the answer.
That's what I'm saying.
I will not give you the answer. Let us reason together until you arrive at the answer by yourself. Now, where is the range that you are? Hold on, please.
Okay.
Where's the range that you are referring to here? Where's the range that you are saying it didn't give you range, didn't give you range? I don't see any range.
Like here. Your IP address, no, here right now it's .100.10.
Okay.
But the range we did was from 192.168.100.1 to 154. That's the range of our class. That's for class C of our network.
That you set on your DHCP.
Yes, that's
so
on
what
our
that
network.
range means is that when you are assigning IP address automatically to any device on this network, assign any number within this range. So
yes, sir.
So 198.100.10 is within 1 and 54, correct? So what's the problem?
But what I'm getting, like I said, when I did it as DHCP, I was getting 192.254.16, then maybe 100, not the 192.164.100.10.
Okay.
That's what I was getting. So the range is different from what
it's not
I
range.
configured.
The language you used to confuse me. It's only now that I understand what it is. It's not range. The IP address you are getting does not fall within the range that you defined in your DHCP. So it's not an IP address that you got.
Oh, okay.
It's an IP address. So if that is the case, there is only one explanation. What is the explanation? Not you now. Class.
Oh, okay.
Class is
Sir,
just
the DHCP is allocating. Okay.
The DHCP isn't static, it's dynamic. That's the settings it needs to check, I think.
No, come again, John. You said
I think he might need to check his DHCP settings. I think it's dynamic, it's not static. If it was static, it's not supposed to give him that IP address.
Or do you mean the other way around?
He should check if his server is actually on DHCP.
Yes,
or
that's what John is saying. That's what John is saying, but he's saying it the other way
so
around.
if it's on static, he should check if it is the correct IP class or range that he has put there. So if it is on static and it is still showing something different, he probably will change it and make sure it's on static. If it is not on static, I'm sure you should go back and check.
You lost me now.
I'm using a DHCP server, not a static.
So you should expect to get something different every time or something.
Okay. From the client's PC, what IP address is on the client's PC?
I'm using DHCP, not static.
That's what I'm saying. Okay.
No,
So it's
he's not
static.
working with the
That's
client,
the
so he doesn't
problem.
know
Sorry,
about the
that's
client.
your problem.
Oh.
So
Well,
he's
you
not
need
able
to
to
check
tell
the
you
scope.
what the client is. Yeah, he knows the scope. It's between 1 and 54. Yet,
yes,
when he checks the IP address, getting 200. 200 is outside. What is this net?
you know, when we were doing it in class, we had reservation from 1 to 20.
Yes.
That was reserved.
Yeah,
Then
that's for
others.
like
Okay. So others was, normally we can have up to about 254 for that IP address range. So we reserve
you
20
are lecturing
and
us, Daniel. We wanted a straight answer. Now let's go back to the.
Yes, sir.
Let's go back to the problem between John and Ken. You want to explain that in the way that everybody can understand, because the solution is what you are saying. So there's only one likely place to look at for your solution, Oyewole. There's only one place to look at. Are you beginning to see the place now? First of all.
Oh, no, not yet, sir.
All right. So who wants to explain? Who wants to try again?
Yeah, you should check your DHCP settings. I guess your IP address is on static, and that is the IP address you are getting from what you think.
Correct.
And the other thing I think might be
no, hold on there, Bankole. Okay, so do you understand what Bankole said, Oyewole? So I agree with that. It's the same thing John and Chen were trying to say.
Not exactly, sir. What I was going to do, but I didn't try, was to put my domain controller as a static IP address, not to.
Okay, I'm coming there now. That's where the real problem is. I've been quiet about that. Now,
that is what I was going to do.
Sorry, can I say something?
But since DHCP is meant to generate IP dynamically, so I felt if I put my domain controller as static,
Emmanuel, sorry, let me explain now. Let me explain something you didn't get there. So first of all,
can I say something, sir?
Okay, all right.
Okay, I had a similar issue before when I tried to do IP config and I was getting a different IP address from what I assigned. So when I went back to check, I assigned IP address to my adapter too. So when I did that, I was getting a different IP address when I checked the IP config. So when I went back to watch the video, I realized that, oh, they didn't sign IP address on adapter 2. That's when I take it off, and then I got the same IP address I assigned. I don't know if it's that same issue the guy is having, but maybe he should go and check that.
Okay, that's another approach on the wider scheme. All right, so finally, this is the problem, Oyewole. And for everybody, this is the problem. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, it's a problem you should actually encounter if you were practicing hard. So I guess you practiced hard. That's why you encountered this problem. So who is there? Who is listening?
I am, sir. I'm listening, sir.
Okay. So everything they said is correct. So check that one. But more importantly and fundamentally, at the root of your problem is the DHCP server. In fact, two very important things to note. The DHCP server is a server. It does not assign DHCP to itself. It does not assign IP address to itself. Did you get it?
Okay, yes, I'm getting it now.
All right. No. So whatever you define there, the DHCP is not human being that will say, this is COVID-19 palliative, distribute to the world. Then we hold everything and then no. It will distribute all the palliatives to the world. That's DHCP for you. It does not assign to. So that is point one, that when you understand and you keep that in mind. And then resulting from that, compulsorily, it is compulsory, resulting from that explanation, that you statically assign IP addresses to servers.
Okay.
Proceed.
Like, I understand now, sir.
Yeah, correct. Now you understand.
Okay. So my DHCP, my domain controller must have a static IP address.
Yes, and that's what they were saying now. That's what they were saying, that you should check.
All right, okay.
But now you have a good understanding of it. So any other problem now, just go to your server, in this case, your domain controller, and then manually assign a static IP address with it. You remember that you reserved IP addresses in the DHCP configuration.
Yes, sir.
What did you reserve them for?
Yes, sir.
Is it not that you can take from there and manually assign?
Yes, for routers, I didn't know I had to reserve for the DHCP server itself.
DHCP is the router now. It's also part of it.
Okay, I was thinking like the router itself, not like the server, the system.
If it was the router, why did you return up to 10 IP? Why did you reserve up to 10 IP addresses?
Well, for printers and routers and all that. That was what I was thinking.
You know that your list that you have in mind, just push them all down and put number 1, servers.
As the domain controller.
The server generally.
Okay, all right. Okay.
All right, awesome. All right. That was good troubleshooting.
Thank you, sir. Try that again.
It sure work. It's F-press to work definitely.
Yes, sure. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All of your contributions were awesome. Thank you. That's how it should be. All right. So who else has a problem that will challenge us to think so that we can continue? There's no use doing something new when you are not when everyone is not very okay with what we've done so far. All right, who else has an issue? What was the other issue? So Timmy has agreed to go and do that research by himself.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Good evening, sir. Well, I'm having issue with launching my DC1, that is my domain controller, and my clients at the same time. I initially thought probably it's the system resources that has been as in more space have been taken, but I checked and I discovered I still have at least more than 100 gig. So I don't know why at times it won't open, and there are times that it will just stop at a point. So I can't open both at the same time, and I don't know why.
All right. My people.
Can
the
I say
elder
something,
has presented another problem.
Can I say something?
So let us meet.
Okay. What if I may ask, what is the size of your memory?
Yeah, it's 681 gig.
8 gig. I didn't get that.
681 gig. 681 gig. You're talking about my host, my laptop, right?
No, not the laptop, as in the memory.
Okay, the one I allocated. Okay.
The RAM size on your host.
Oh, okay. The RAM is 5 gig.
That's it. I do have 8 gig on my laptop, and I can open my DC, my primary DC, and also my client. But if I try to open the replica, it gets stuck. So you can see that it's a resource issue, not any other issue. So if you put on your primary DC, it's seamless, right? But when you're bringing up another, maybe a client or a replica, then you'll have issues. So it has to do with resources. That's it.
Okay. So what can be done?
Look at my trainees. My trainees are dissecting problems.
You need to upgrade your RAM size. That is your memory size. Yeah, just get another 4 gig. It will work perfectly.
Okay, you mean actually increase the RAM size?
Yeah, your memory size. Yeah. Exactly. Just get another 4 gig. But I don't think you need it at this point. So just turn one system off, and run the other. I don't think you can run 3 systems at once on that.
The option is for you, sorry to cut you short, the option is for you to reduce the RAM size of your DC controllers. You can just put all of them 1.5 5 gig, 1.5 gig, 1.5 gig.
Okay.
Yes, when you turn it, when you shut it down from the virtual machine, you can set it from the settings on the virtual machine. You can adjust the memory.
Okay. Maybe I will have to try that.
Okay. Another thing, if you want to run at the same capacity that your virtual machines are, you can look at increasing your resource size, that's like your RAM size of your host, so that you can have enough to allocate to them. My own system, I have 8 gig RAM, and each time 2 of my virtual VMs are on, I cannot watch YouTube with the main host. So I usually, if I want to see YouTube and see my VMs on, I will kill one VM and let one be up. Then I can now watch YouTube. But if I have to use both of them, I would usually stop other resources that are being used up by my host system. So it's basically a resource issue. You can bump up your resources or minimize usage, step down the resource allocation, like the other person just said.
Okay, I don't know if this will work, because back then when people have RAM issues, like the memory is very low, we used to do virtual memory. We used to increase virtual memory from Windows, and probably it now takes parts of the hard drive and uses the memory. But I've not tried it on my PC now. But probably I will try it after this class to see if I'm able to run the 2 servers, that's the primary domain and the replica, including the clients. So when I test that and it's okay, then I'll probably let you know in the next class.
Okay. Yeah. I think I'll make use of the the opinions I've heard and see how it goes. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. So if you find any tips, you could just put it on the platform and let's all look at it together.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. The oracles are here. Who else has problem? Bring your problem. Let the oracle talk and see your problem.
And we're using Oracle VM. Oracle.
No, don't that kind of oracle. The ancestors are gathered. They are preferring solution to problems. Oh, yeah. So, just waiting to come in.
Hello.
Yeah.
Ruben.
Yeah.
There's something I want to ask. How can one demote a domain controller? What can we do to demote it?
Okay, I'll show you, Robert.
Okay.
All right. So 8855. What's your name? The person who asked the question about it. The question that everybody just contributed to.
Okay, Ifeoluwa is my name, sir.
Ifeoluwa.
Ifeoluwa, yes, sir.
Ifeoluwa, what's your surname?
Igondo.
Okay. So why is your phone not showing your name?
Oh, is it not?
It's showing 855 528 66.
Okay. You showing? What is it showing, sir?
8 number like a phone number.
Okay, okay, my phone number. Yes, that's my phone number.
What's your phone number?
Yes, yeah, that's what you can see there. That's the phone number I used to register for the WhatsApp. Okay. Okay.
All right. So if you're lower, when you started, you said you didn't think your problem was system resource because you had 100 gig of space, and therefore that was enough to take care of the situation. So you thought.
Yes.
Okay. So haven't heard from everybody now. So do you want to?
Well, I think I will try out.
No. That's not the question. That's not the question. The question is: do you want to reframe your question now? Because that statement is not correct. So do you want to correct yourself now about how you posted the question earlier on? So in other words, when you say system resource, it is not correct to say my system resources.
I said initially, I felt the issue with both with DC1 and Glenn not coming up was because the resource, because I still had I was even thinking of the hard disk though, but I wasn't even going to the RAM. But since he brought that up, I felt the RAM also should be enough. But I think I'm going to try out either using the
somebody
RAM
help me.
I allocated.
It's not.
For both.
If Oluwa is not speaking the language I expect him to speak, somebody help him rephrase that original question, because the 100 gig is referred to did not refer to resources or to resource. Okay, maybe it referred to a resource, but not to resources. So, who understands what I'm trying to say? Who can help us reframe that?
Okay, let me try.
Or where did he make the mistake that I'm referring to?
Okay, where he made the mistake was it was referring to the size of the storage as the size of the RAM.
Okay, yes. And even if that was the size of the RAM, was it enough to just mention, yes, maybe for this case, RAM is the most important. But was he, yes, you are right, Chen. So you put it correctly now. What should he have said?
Okay, he should have said the actual size of RAM he's got.
Of RAM, not of, what did you think
Storage.
he stated?
And he stated storage.
Okay. So that's what I wanted him to correct.
SSD storage.
All right?
Yeah.
All right. Beautiful. And then you corrected him. So when you talk about system resources, there are 3 you should mention. All right? But if you don't want to bother yourself with the other 2 because they are constant and controlled solely by the host, there's nothing you can do about them. It is only the amount of, especially processor. No, you can do something about the amount of storage that you take from your host to assign to your VM. Okay? You can do something about that. And then you can do something about the amount of RAM that you take from your host to assign. So when you talk about storage, it's not, when you talk about resources, it's not just about storage. It's about storage and memory.
Yes.
So you should have been talking about the RAM.
Yeah, memory. Yes.
Instead of
exactly. Yeah, I should have been talking about the memory.
All right. That's just what I wanted to pass across. So that is one. And then who was the other contributor who said that even though the recommended and default size that default size of RAM, of memory size that your virtual machine would take from your host is 2 gig. Yeah, you can reduce that to 1.5 or even 1 gig. Yeah, your machine may be slow, but it will ultimately work. That's a good one. That recommendation works. So for people who have 4 gig, RAM on their laptop and still want to practice this, yes, you may not be able to run 3, but just do 2 at a time. It's okay. It's better than throwing away your laptop to go and buy any. All right. So since you have only 5 gig of RAM, instead of assigning 2 gig and leaving only 1 gig to your host, and therefore your host is not able to carry all of them simultaneously, it hangs because, yeah, when system hangs, it's always about resources. It's always about RAM most of the time. All right. So why not assign 1 gig or 1.5 gig, 1.5 gig, like the other man said, so that you have 2 gig to your host, and your host is still able to support your entire virtual environment. Did you get that part?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you may not have read that anywhere, but experiences, just people trying to manage resources, have shown that where you do not have enough storage space, instead of taking 50 gig, you can even take, even though the recommended storage for Windows is 35, you can even manage 30 to work. Just manage your resources. Just make sure you get through this phase. We'll be getting through in another 1 or 2 lectures. All right, so this should work for you. And then of course, ultimately, if you are not able to run 3 machines simultaneously, manage to, you can still practice well with.
Okay.
And then finally, the idea of increasing your RAM, like John suggested, does not always, in fact, it doesn't work most of the time. And the explanation is your motherboard and especially your motherboard. Yeah, okay, let's just stop on the motherboard. It's at the time it was manufactured, the explanation will be too long, but just take it like this. This is an illustration. You have okay, maybe a car, a 2021 model of your car. Somebody has it. Now you have 20, maybe 5 years earlier, 2011 or so, something like that. And then because you now want your car to compete with the 2020 model, you go get the 2021 engine and come and put it on your car. Would your car work optimally?
No, sir.
It won't, right? Are you sure?
Yes.
All right.
Because there are other factors you have to put in place.
Correct. Other factors. The other things that should work with engine in order to make it work optimally are not able to recognize the capacity and work at the capacity of this new 3.5 horsepower engine when they were manufactured for. In fact, if you force them, you even knock them out because you are forcing them to run at the speed of this new engine. So instead of actually having a faster machine, you are likely to have a slower machine. So the same applies to system. Yeah, occasionally, because the motherboard was manufactured not just for the year it was manufactured, but to be compatible with 2-3 years. Okay, sometimes, okay. But I don't see a motherboard for a laptop that was manufactured 5 years ago be compatible with the RAM that you are going to be buying in the market now. Technologies change every day. So then if you test it in the market and it appears to work, by the time you take it home, okay, we've been through A+ and systems engineering, so these things don't work. So it's usually not a workable, a practical recommendation.
Hello.
Sir, can I add a caveat, sir?
Yes.
Okay. Even if he decides to upgrade, it will have to be upgradable. That is expected to be able to perform to that level of memory, because some systems, because of price, they put lower memory even if it's able to do more. So, if that system is not upgradable to the RAM that is trying to take it to, it will not work and it might even be redundant.
Yeah,
yes.
We're making the same point. Yeah.
Yes.
All right, that's fine.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Ruben, you were saying hello, right? If you are not following our conversation, if you are a stranger and you are finding this conversation irritating and it's not making sense, you have to think twice of whether IT is your field. Be learning from all of this and at least understanding what we are seeing, what we are discussing. We're not just discussing to show off, we're discussing so that we can learn from it.
No, I got cut off from the network, so.
Okay.
That was why I was saying hello.
Okay. All right, so who else is there? Let's discuss more. Let's rub minds, let's learn from one another. Because I can see now that some of you are coming from A+ background and you have something to offer. Yeah.
So there's a possibility that upgrading the RAM might actually slow the system itself. That's a fact, right, sir?
Yes, it's a fact, yeah.
Because that's what I did, and my system is still dragging. I had like an 4 gig RAM, and I went to buy 8 gig RAM, but it's like, for me, it's still the same issue. So I guess it wasn't worth the money then.
No, it wasn't worth it. And you had heard this before, then you'd have saved your money.
No, I wouldn't have. Yeah, definitely, I would have saved my money.
So maybe
thank you, sir.
you should have also checked if your system was upgradable to that RAM.
Well, what I did for those, well, like what I normally do was to go to YouTube and see, and I saw that people upgrading the particular model to 8 gigs, so I did it. So was that I just blindly did that. I watched videos on YouTube and all that. So I believe it was upgradable, but yeah, I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. So that's
no, it's not you. It's not you. That's just the way it works. Intel, AMD, and all they have to make money. If they let your motherboard last for 10 years just because you're upgrading, did they go and lock their factory for 10 years?
No, sir.
Well, you add sense to business now. You don't just do business, man.
My own concern right now, sir, is okay because I have this same system issue. My system is public RAM, so I've been a bit limited to what I can practice. Like you said, now I can't run 3 machines at the same time. I can only run 2, and it's been doing fine actually. But then I want to know that is it that when we're done with Windows, when we move to Linux, are we still going to have this kind of issue? Do I need to get
no? You don't need
planning
this much resources.
Oh, okay. That's
we already said that. Yeah.
That's good water in my body.
All right, let's go to the next window and see who is still here. Seyi Fumi. Who is Seyi Fumi? Seyi Fumi. Joshua. Who is Joshua? Joshua. I think Joshua has spoken before. I've heard that voice. Joshua, are you there? Let me make excuses for you. Let me pretend that you're at work and you cannot talk. You don't get it. Charles Okafor. Demola. All right, so just the 5 of us occupying the class. The others are just 5 active persons here. Oluwatobi used to be
Yes,
active.
sir. I'm here, sir. I'm listening. I'm hearing everybody. I'm a listener.
No, sir. Yeah.
No, sir. I'm
This
here,
is
sir.
your
Network is.
Yeah.
No, sir. Charles is here also.
I'm learning from everyone.
But network is terrible.
Your network is terrible, right?
Network is bad. It's bad today. Yeah.
Yes, sir. It's bad down here. So
it's somehow today.
Okay.
No,
So are you guys enjoying the discussion or is it boring?
No.
But I just came in now,
Discussion is
sir.
interesting.
This is Demola.
Someone asked the same question that I put up on the chat about IP address.
What about IP address?
About DHCP, configuring DHCP primary domain controller, about the static IP, static DNS. I asked the same question on the group. So the question has been answered now.
Oh, it has been answered.
Somebody
asked a question.
Someone answered me on the group already too.
Oh, okay. That's fine. Well done to the active members on the group. What was the question somebody asked and I said we're going to do it? Let's do that now. So this is the much I can do to bring everybody to the same level so that we can now move on from here instead of just rushing and leaving people behind. All right, what was the question you asked and I said we'll do it?
You've answered it. You said
we already did that. Demoting a DC.
I thought there was a question. Okay.
No, there's a question, sir. There is a question.
That's a question.
He asked about how can we demote a DC.
Oh, okay, demote DC. Okay, yes. Let's do it. So when you have to demote DC, then it has to do with domain controller. So what system is this? This is not our domain controller. So you go down there, and then you maximize. You go down, and then get out of the way. Why is it not occupying the whole screen? Primary domain controller. Should have
You can't see
installed
your
our
screen.
driver. You can't see my screen.
Yes, sir.
Share. Let me share.
No, we can see your screen. I can see
Can
your
see the
screen.
screen. You can see.
Yeah, you can see primary DC running.
Yes.
Why is it not occupying the whole screen now?
Maybe increase the percentage of the virtual screen.
No, that won't do
that.
it. I've not loaded drivers. Why did you not load drivers?
Okay.
Actually, me, I have this issue, sir. I've loaded my driver severally, and then it's still not occupying the whole screen.
All right, so let's do it. Let's find out why. So we maximize this, we maximize that, and then we maximize again, and then the magic is done. So try that on your.
Oh,
okay. Occupy the whole
Try
screen,
that.
all right? Not a problem, right? So you can fix that now, right?
I can do that magic too. I will.
Okay. How do you domain controller? Look at it. So this is a domain controller because I see ADDS. To demote it, I go to manage.
Okay.
I say remove roles and features. Okay. Create server group, server manage property. So I say remove roles and feature. What is the crown of the domain controller?
ADDS.
Correct. Okay. So what are we looking to remove then? ADDS. All right. So we just click this on DC1, and then we say remove ADDS. That is how to remove it. Remove feature. Then you say, I don't want to remove my domain controller unless I make a clone of it. But this is how to do it. That's how to demote. I don't want to demote mine. Well, you can proceed from here, right? You're not answering now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we can see. Yeah.
So do you know how to demote your domain controller now to become ordinary, to become server, ordinary server? Yeah, I can use ordinary. When you demote your domain controller, it starts being a domain controller but it remains a server. So try it with your system, not with mine. Go to manage, go to remove roles and features. Since you already know the role that you want to remove, go ahead, say next. For which system? For DC1. That's the only one appearing anyway. And then you remove the role. The role that makes it the domain controller is this one. You say remove features. And then you tick all of them. And then you remove. You see it now? I'm removing all of them. They're all gone, I guess. Okay, I may have to remove those and then start a different round to remove that one because it will not remove all three at the same time. Remove management tools if possible. Yes. The validation process found problem on the server from which you want to remove features.
Demote this. Look at the other one that demote.
The Active Directory controller needs to be demoted before the ADDS role can be removed. Okay. So let us proceed without. So we can proceed right now because we've already removed that. All right. So it will be in two stages. So this is the first stage. You continue.
Okay.
I'm afraid I can't continue, but that's the way to do it.
All right. Okay.
But sir, why would one want to demote a domain controller?
One, you already have you have a new server that is higher capacity, and you have built it. It's ready. So instead of this one running, maybe in enterprise environment now, instead of this one that you are managing with 4 gig, you now have servers that are running 3 processor instead of 1 processor, and then 128 gig RAM instead of the 6 gig or 5 gig we are managing. So you want to demote this one and say, you have tried for 3 years, you have served us. We have a new one. So you demote this one, you promote the new one.
Okay, so but why don't we just elevate the other one? So if we elevate directly, will it demote this DC?
Yeah, first of all, how do you think we'll introduce the other one? I think the best way to introduce the other one without bringing your system down is to make that one your
replica, secondary.
Secondary. And then while that one is running, and then of course you bring down your primary, and that one will be running. Your system is still in place. So instead of saying server is shut down, you cannot. That one just take care of everything, and then you can now work on this one by demoting it, and then you can now introduce the third one, and then put the feature of this one on that one, and then you start that one. That one take over. But you may not know everything you need within this 4 weeks course, but that's basically the picture.
That's to explain that you can have two kings.
Yes. One has to step down while you build it, and the other one has to be up to make the network services available. Right. So that's a scenario where you would need to demote.
Okay. Hello, sir.
So yeah, you retire the server. Yes.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Please, what is how can one explain IntelliMirror?
IntelliMirror.
Yes.
What does it mean?
As in, what does it mean as relates to Windows Server administration?
I don't remember that. IntelliMirror. I don't remember that. What do you think it means?
Well, I think I've been going through some questions, like some interview questions, and it has been coming up.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to do research on that. I don't think I've used that in years. I haven't used that feature of Windows in years. So I'll have to, and of course I don't have that luxury. So you go ahead, try it, and then come back and tell us, oh, I found out this is what it does. I'm not talking about just googling it and knowing the meaning. I'm talking about actually.
Yes, what it does.
Yes. So, could there be a brief explanation what could possibly make cause a DNS to disappear while trying to configure it in the replica?
No, it will not disappear. Because it will not disappear, I don't have an explanation. So right here, you will not see the DNS, right? You will not see it this one.
No, I actually saw it here, but on a replica.
No, I was in the class. I wasn't.
DNS replica, yes, that's why I was trying to configure the DNS. And at some point, I couldn't find it again.
So, okay, let me know. Maybe I can help. What exactly couldn't you find? You couldn't find this icon, or you couldn't find the entire server?
Sorry, I actually meant domain name, not DNS server. Sorry, the domain name disappeared.
Okay, let's go there.
Yes.
So let's see what you mean. Okay, so was it here? You couldn't find this one anymore?
Yes, but is this a replica? When you're trying to configure the when we're trying to configure, yes, this domain name, I couldn't find it again.
On the replica, yeah. It's exactly what will happen here that will also happen on the replica. So let us pretend, let us look for a way to hide this so that we can now bring it back and say, this is where it went and this is how it came back. So what you could find was this one. So what were you seeing in place of?
I was seeing is it MSBS server. It's actually like another name for the domain name, but it has DMS, then my domain name. Then, but my domain name is, go ahead.
Yeah, are you sure that you did not mistakenly, let's go here, this PC. This is the domain controller, okay. Yes, in that case, we need to let us use the replica because the domain controller cannot change. Let's quickly use the replica. Where's our replica? Replica DC. So let us turn that one on. Where's on? Start, normal start. Okay. Okay. All right, so we have that replica. Then which one is this one? No, we don't need that. That's our client. Do we have client machine here? Yes, we have client. So we only have 3 systems. We have them to use our client since we didn't. We have no hard reason to log into the domain from our client. Anyone waiting to come in? No, everyone is in. All right, so our replica is on. How do we log into replica? My spacebar will just open here, and then I can do acting. All right, so I need your suggestion as to what we can do to hide, to make the domain looks different so that we can now look for a way to bring it back. So this one is refusing to occupy the screen. Okay, it's occupied. All right, that's fine. All right, so we'll go to local server for replica, and then you are not seeing this.
Yes.
Are you sure you didn't mistakenly click there to say change? And it says this is domain controller, okay. And then you mistakenly entered some. It will not even go because that domain does not exist. So that will not be the answer. We type something that does not exist, it will not go. All right, so that's not what happened. So what would have happened? Yes.
So I actually got to the point.
You say you must restart the computer for what? To apply these settings. What? Oh, sorry. No, it's not the computer name that I wanted to change. No, that was wrong. I wanted to change. Sorry.
The domain name.
The domain.
Yeah, the domain. Let me return this to the real name. Sorry about that. I wish there was a way I can do it. Okay, so what's our name? What was it? What was it?
ttmobile.com.
So this time I'm on the domain. No, I wanted to change the computer name.
Computer name was this.
No restart. Okay, don't worry. I'll do that outside class. But let me just try one more time. It's already accepted that. So anytime I restart, it must take this jargon name. And that will affect a lot.
Change it on the computer description. Computer description.
Wherever I come from, it will ultimately bring me here. It's the same destination. Okay, let's prove it to you. From where? Here?
Yes, there, yes.
No, description is not the same thing as changing name.
No.
Why don't you go to this PC property?
It's just a route. It's just a way, but it will ultimately bring me to the same destination.
I think you have to demote. I think you have to demote
No, I think we need to. I think we need to restart the computer, then go back again and change it.
Yes, that would be the only way. But let me just prove to you that these other ways, there are no ways there. Change the settings, right?
Yes,
right?
sir.
So it's bringing us back to the same place.
Okay.
It's the same thing.
All right.
So we can only restart it then, go back.
Yeah, but let's see how we can solve this. So before we go too far into solving other problems, what brought us here?
Yeah, it's finding the domain
You
name.
wanted to change the computer domain, then you change the name.
Yeah, the thing I was trying to do is not even possible because even if I come here now,
you can't change the domain name.
Let me just do it.
You can only demote it before you can
Emmanuel,
change it.
Yes, sir.
Even if I come here now and I pretend that I want to change the domain, it will not even work.
That's what I've been to the
not
same
work.
scenario.
Let me just
has
hold
happened
on,
to me.
hold on,
What I
hold on.
did
Let me
was
just hold on. When I throw the market open, then you can contribute. No, you don't have too many teachers. All right. So that one will not work. So what I need contribution for now is what do we do to create this problem, to make this thing disappear? So if you have a contribution in that regard,
no, let me try.
No, I'm
Emmanuel, what do you think?
Okay, sir. But this is not where I was actually talking about.
Okay, what were you talking about?
What I'm actually talking about is configuring the DNS, because we've already done the DHCP on the replica.
So are you from here?
Yeah, from tools.
Okay, here.
To DNS. Yes.
Okay, so here.
Yeah, so this place is say the TTC mobile. I couldn't find it anymore.
Ah, you didn't watch the video now. It's a simple thing now. You deleted it mistakenly, so you create another one. Simple. This is the problem. You didn't watch video, that's the problem. The video explains it explicitly. You didn't watch the video?
No, I've not.
So that's the problem. The problem is you didn't watch the video. It's simple to do. Very, very simple. If this is the problem, you should have said things. Anyway,
So,
now that we're here.
It's just...
Now that we're here, let me show you how to do it.
Okay.
All right, so you go to forward looking, new zone, you say next, and then you say make this one the replica, and then you say next, and then you put the name of the original domain here. What's the name of your own domain? Did you use the same name that I used?
No, I used the COVID19.com.
COVID19.com, that is it. Put COVID19.com here. COVID19.com. And then you complete the session. This is going to be a replica. Where would it be replicating from? What's the IP address of the machine to be replicating from?
Okay, mine is 192.
Well, I have to use mine because I'm on this network. So 192.168.100.10. All right. And then you say accept. That is tab key. So in case you are looking for a tab, it's not connecting. Why? Okay, computer name changes and all that. That computer name. Anyway, this is but this is creating. This is the process. Hold on. Don't interfere until I ask you.
Okay.
So this is the process is correct. The problem we're having here is just an internal error. But this is the thing you should do. And then you click next.
Okay.
And then you say finish. Then it will appear. Your COVID-19 will now appear here. Just like, look at it. It's appearing now. You cannot take it.
Okay.
And work with it. So that's the issue.
Okay.
You got it now.
So it means we can have as many DNS server as possible. Is that what you're saying?
Scopes.
Okay, scopes. Okay.
There's only one DNS server. You can define
we can have
multiple scopes.
Okay.
Scopes.
Oh, okay. All right.
So, but what if if I've already signed the IP address of the primary domain server? I've already signed it before. I couldn't find the domain server again. So if I create the new one and then
no, it will not work.
IP address.
You cannot have the network before you introduce the king. The king must be the first man on the network.
Okay.
Do you get what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
So now that you had a network, and then because of issues that you could not resolve, you had to bring down the domain controller. By the time you create a new domain controller and bring it to the network, it will not work.
Okay.
So you have to bring down the entire domain, and build a fresh one.
Okay.
Yes. The complications that you would encounter trying to bring a new king to rule over these radicals will be too much for you to bear. So just bring everything down and create a fresh one. When I say everything, it means you have to destroy your current clients, create new clients, and attach them to the new domain controller in the new domain. But before you do that, ensure that your first computer in the whole virtual environment is your domain controller.
You actually deleted the replica entirely.
Not just
start
replica.
all over again.
Okay, your domain controller is still there, the original domain controller?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you could have done, yeah, there are faster ways to do that. You could do cloning, you could do, but it's okay, it's all part of practice. So if what is affected is replica, then no problem. As long as you still have a domain controller, your replica will fit into the...
Yeah, it's just the replica.
Okay. But in any case, we have learned from there that once a domain controller is gone out of a network, you cannot bring it back. Okay? You will have to be the first man there so that other clients and other things coming to the network will pay homage to it. You cannot bring it back to come and roll over existing network. It's not entirely impossible, but you are going to encounter issues. You are not mature enough to take care of those issues, so why punish yourself?
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
So finally, we solve that problem, right? It's a simple problem, just didn't express it.
Yeah. It's actually simple.
Yeah.
Watching the way you did it now.
You cannot do without watching videos. So the video is not just about doing it. The video is about, I've emphasized that in almost every class. Well, when you start to attend interviews, these videos will vindicate me that I tried to warn you beforehand. It's not just about, I know how to do it. There are things I say in the video that will develop you to become an engineer proper and not just, I know how to do it. I know how to do it is different from, I'm an engineer. All right.
I tested that. Yeah.
All right, thank you. All right, so that's that. So we'll close this. Any other problem now? Any other contribution?
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sorry, sir. I just want to bring up this is because at my place of work, I do see this kind of issue coming up, and I believe you've talked about it in class about the printer of the thing. Where I worked, whenever they service a particular printer in a particular department, I think we have to lose the printer. They have to come back and reinstall it back on our system. So I don't know what really happened. Why is it that whenever they service it, we lost the printer access, and they have to the administrator have to come back and do that for us on the system.
And from now, they don't have to come now. You just go there and do it for them.
Yeah, but you didn't teach us much about the printer. How we can.
I've taught you. It's just that your mind is tied to printer. You are not seeing printer as a device. You are just saying printer. So because I don't use printer to teach you, you think you don't know it. You already know it. And of course, I said that is outside our syllabus. So, and I don't have a network. Is it a network printer or is attached to a system?
It's a network printer.
I don't have network printer here to show you how to do that.
Yeah. All right, sir.
All right, so let's deliberate on that now. What do you think the problem is? The elders gather again. There's a problem that we need to solve.
I guess the issue is with the IP. Maybe it's on a domain of a DHCP. So every time there's an issue, they have to go to each system and type in the IP address of the printer. Since it's a network printer, it's not attached to a system.
All right, I agree with you. That's what I think too. That's what I think. So that is the problem. So what is the solution?
The solution is
by the way,
make it a static.
hold on with the solution. Taiwo, who are they? Till they come, who are the people that come? Are they contractors?
No, they don't really come. I think we have to talk to our IT administrator that has to do it remotely on our system.
Remotely. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Oh yeah, well, let's solution.
For me, I would say they should make the network printer they should give him a static IP address.
That is the solution.
So they don't have to come in every other time.
That's the solution. Taiwo, do you realize now that you have the solution already?
Yes, I do. I was thinking maybe there's another way out. I understand what you're saying, but I was thinking maybe there's another way out.
Well, maybe, but this is what we can think of now. But you know that when you are faced with the problem, the way your thinking jar will be on you move it from one to, when the situation is more than critical, the thinking will change to the realm, and then, but ordinarily we are sitting here relaxed in classroom. This is the only way we can think of it. I can't seem to think of any other.
Though I tried exactly what you said like that, because I think yesterday I have similar issues. So I tried to, just because I don't have access to the domain server, I couldn't do exactly what they do. So I tried. Sorry, I mean because I don't have the controller.
Controller. What's controller? What's controller?
I mean I don't have access to the admin.
So which admin? I have to understand what you're saying. You lost me there.
Maybe he's trying to say he does not have the access to make any of those changes.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Just a user role and cannot effect.
Are you an admin person?
No.
Are you an IT?
Try to see.
Huh?
Just because of what you teach us in class. So I was trying to just see a way out. Not that I'm trying to.
So you went to the server room. Where did you try to fix it from?
No, what I try to do is that I went to because I always see how she always do it remotely on my system.
Okay, she does that remotely from your system?
Yes.
Not from the domain controller?
No.
Oh, okay. That means the issue is peculiar to your system, not to, I mean, other systems might be able to access. So this is not a general problem.
Yeah, it's not a general problem. In my department, maybe like 4 of us may not have access to it. So it do the same thing to us.
So it comes to repeat this same thing every time this printer is disconnected temporarily and then returned.
Yes, exactly.
All right. So back to the others. The situation has changed. So they said it's not a general problem, that it happens only for this department. So
okay. Let me. I think it might be that you guys in that department are not permanently giving access to printers. So it's only when she comes in, she gives you access to it, and probably for a limited period, that when it takes you out, you cannot have access to it again. Maybe.
But that, the theoretical, the way you said it in theory, well, we're technical people, so you cannot bamboozle us with that. What exactly do you mean?
Okay,
but then if that's the case, then we should have done it from our own domain controller.
Yeah, because my assumption was that all of this was happening generally, so it could have been fixed centrally. Whatever you fix on the domain controller is fixed centrally everywhere. So this one that is segmented now, so Chen, I didn't get anything from that your explanation.
Okay. As a user,
I hear the explanation, but
yes,
talk technical. What do we do on and where?
We have to give them access.
How?
By going to the usual route, tools, user, and see the rights that they have, to see if you can add printer access to their rights.
By making them part of a security group.
Not necessarily. But at least you can.
Yeah, they will have to be part of a security group in order to proceed as a group instead of managing them individually. All right, but that's not. Why would they do it individually on the system and not centrally from? That's where I'm lost.
It's
not a very. Is he not a very experienced? Is he very experienced? You are just. It's just.
But she's been there. She's been working there for long. Yeah, I think she's experienced.
Okay, so she knows what she's doing. I don't know. For me, I don't know unless somebody has a solution. Because I would rather do it the way Chen and Timmy are suggesting than come to you individually. So what happens every time the printer is disconnected? Why are you not able to access it? So where does it go when he comes to rectify the issue?
Yeah, what she do is she has to access our users from our own domain, from our own side. No, she has to access our user from my computer in order for her to have the printer on my system back.
Okay.
I don't know what she has to do. She has
she's
to move
adding
in.
the printer to your system, not to your account.
Yes.
So this is at computer level, not at user level. This is what I mean. Let me go.
Probably now added on the side.
When she adds the system to your computer, does she sign? To ask you have to be admin or put in password. Maybe she uses.
No, it's from his computer. So all of these tools are not available on his computer. It's not the server. So that question will not even come. These tools are available only on the domain controller. Can you see my tools?
Yes, I can see that.
So
I don't have access to all this.
No, you don't. Your system does not have access. So the approach is not from here. All right, let's not waste too much time on that. I can't. I don't have enough information to be able to see exactly what happened. All right. So next time, watch her closely. Maybe you catch something that will give us a clue as to, oh, is it that one?
Yeah, I'll do that. Sir.
Okay. All right. So that's about it. So it's been brainstorming today. Nothing really new. So I'm happy you were all able to bring forth your issues and we tackle them one by one. And then with that one now, and as we round up Windows Server administration, I'm prepared to go into Linux. Everybody should be happy. If you are not happy, it is either because you are not in class and therefore you are not able to present your case, or you are in class but you refuse to talk. Who is happy?
I'm actually glad I don't have to. I wanted to shout.
Let me hear the person that is happy.
I am happy. I mean, I wanted to shout. I wanted to shout. I don't know how it's going to feel like on other people. So,
okay.
I'm actually glad that I was able to get through this. But, sir, I just want to ask, now that we're going on the Linux, I can't wait for us to be there. Is there anything we can do? Maybe if it's to download the particular, OS on the Linux, at least if something we can get down before that day, so that we don't struggle with it.
Daniel, Yoruba would say, you are sitting in your home, and they are carrying your bride. They are bringing your wife from Ishan to come and give to you. And then you are climbing your roof to go and look. How beautiful is she? Is that coming out? Maybe it's coming to your house. That's your own case. It's coming to your house forever. So that's
all right. Okay, I'm good. All right, sir. Thank you.
So, hello, sir. When do we start making payments for the next class?
Your payment is long overdue. You've not been hearing my speaking in Proverbs since. I've been speaking in Proverbs, speaking with my eyes, speaking with my... your payment is long overdue.
Okay, all right.
But sir, we are not being communicated to, sir.
I'm in America, Demola. I'm not in Nigeria where I will come and knock on your door and drop. Here, when our bills are due, we pay them duly.
Hello, sir.
No problem, sir.
So
I want to ask.
That's Taiwo, please hold on. I'm talking money now.
Okay, sorry, sir. It's money I'm talking about. I want to talk about it.
Hold on. This is my. So, Demola in America, when it's due, we just say, can. Alert is here. We don't remind people to pay dues.
Okay, sir.
That's our culture. So learn from us. Learn from our culture.
One more thing. Can you please repost the payment medium?
Look at the brochure, the itan.com.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
It's there.
No time. That's very important.
You know, when telecoms company, they are doing promo, the most important department of telecoms company, the department they don't play with. Your BTS can go down, your BSC, even your server can go down, your switch. But there's a department,
Subscription.
There's a department they don't play with.
Collection department.
Collection of what?
Account.
Eh?
Sir, can I make a Tivus payment through the Zelle?
So that department is called billing. Billing
department.
Nothing must happen to billing, no. Even if you cannot connect to, you cannot make voice call. My money must come in. So I'm in the billing department now, so I'm not taking any other question. It's my billing. Eh? The billing is where the money comes into. So that's where they make their money. Nothing should happen to our billing department.
That is what facilitates the memory and everything.
Maybe we should just set up a cycle for every month, till the particular month when the training is going to end. So you don't have to just come in and you just, once that time reaches, it just goes,
It's called direct debit. Yes, Daniel, where are you? Are you in Nigeria?
I'm in Lagos.
Okay, yes. Direct debit will not work for you. Unless you set it yourself. Direct debit, you authorize me every 25th of the month, I just move it from your account.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so no problem. So just pay up and make sure you don't miss anything. Yeah. All right, Mamero, that's what we say.
I was saying if I can pay for 2 people through the Zelle.
Yeah. Why not?
Because the other person is the other class, not this one.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
When it comes to money, if you want to pay for 15 people, let me know. I'll just open one door. You just if it's money.
That's a Nigerian blood.
No problem.
And there'll be discount.
No. What this $25,000 naira class now? What discount do you need?
No, you said
no, it's 27,500.
Yeah.
Whatever. I have a $600 class in the evening. Those are the people
sir,
that
are we to pay a service fee for why using Zelle too?
Excel?
Zelle.
No, there's no service.
Please just pay. You can't be discussing $50 for. You know what you pay the first time. Just go ahead and pay.
Yes.
Okay.
Even people paying 1,500, they don't ask questions like this. I appreciate your money, but don't overstress it.
Yeah. And you can ask.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, Shay, for me.
Oh, no, I wasn't saying anything.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Which state are you from, sir?
Why? Are they using that one? Are they using that one from? Are they using it to?
It's from Osun State.
It's from Osun State.
It was not asking for money. It was with that.
You must have a relationship with Ijebu people.
If I had a relationship with Ijebu, you'll not be paying this kind of money now. All right, guys. Nice having you today, and it was fun.
Okay.
I'm sure that you gained something. So what's today? Today's Tuesday.
Yes.
Is the last day of the week, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So we'll see you again on Sunday, and then we'll continue from there.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
So who's starting Linux on Sunday?
Are we studying Linux? Yes. Are we studying Linux?
Just let's finish this one properly, and maybe
just be in class. That's all.
Whatever we do, trust your trainer that is taking you in the right direction.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, then. Bye.
All right. Have a nice day.
You too.
Have a nice weekend. Bye.
You too. Bye.